everything's in the heat of the moment, I'm thinking about what I need to do in my car and what we need to do to be successful. There's two things that I'm very passionate about. That's my family and my race car. If you mess with either one of them, I'm subject to do something about it.
You keep my daddy out of this loud man. Your daddy? Why the hell did you do that, Plan?
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Orange Bumper Podcast.
All right, man. Here we are, another week. Pretty excited about this one. We got some new hardware to talk about, some new decorations.
Double decker. Can you see
kinds
it?
of stuff.
Devin, is it in the shot? Cool.
There's a lot of bling back there.
Yeah, I know. We didn't, my 100 lap win, we didn't. Did we have the trophy? We didn't do one for that, did we?
No,
we didn't do
because I went up to the shop.
that's when you came to the shop. Yeah, because we didn't get to put it on the little stool. But we announced that Slate was running the Boo Boo Dalton's limited car. And I talked to Phil Stefanale at PSR, and I said, yeah, Slate's running that car, and blah, blah, blah. And he said, well, I've been wanting to run some races at Ace on Friday night in the 602. You want to go? And I was like,
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Do you want to go to the steakhouse? I mean, that's a dumb question.
Yeah.
I was like, heck yeah, because Phil's got great stuff, and I love Ace Speedway. I get around Ace pretty good, and so does his equipment. And I said, yeah, let's do it. So we kind of knew roughly about the same time that Slate's announcement was, but I didn't want to. Yeah. I wanted that to get a nice platform with Ice Age management, and obviously Citrusafe was on the car. But anyway, I said, yeah, let's go. So we went Thursday and we tested, and in practice we were running times equivalent to what the pole was. So man, I think it's going to be pretty good. So Slate was running really good. So we come back on Friday and we sat on the pole. And I won the first race. It was twin 20s. They start straight up. I won the first race. And then the second race, they inverted 8. And Phil said, yeah, we're going to win both these races tonight. And I'm thinking, we could.
Possible.
But starting
law of averages says otherwise. Yeah.
So I think Jamie or Andy, with Andy that helps Phil, I think he said we need a couple cautions. If we get a couple cautions with a couple double file restarts, I think there's an opportunity there to win.
They do double file.
They do cone.
Okay. For even on 20 lap races.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
And it's a track you can pass on. Yeah. Like at the stadium, even if they did the cone on twin 25s, it'd still be tough.
Yeah.
Because it's Bowman Gray.
Yeah.
But at Ace, you can pass. And so I said, yeah, well, we'll just, my goal was just knock the front end off of it. And so we get going there, and I'm, back here 9th or 10th, and we come by to take lap 3, and the 2 leaders got together, got in the wall, and they started wrecking everywhere. And it's smoke, you can't see. I hit the guy in front of me. We get through it. I go through 1 and 2, and I look, and there's only 2 cars ahead of me. And I'm like, am I third?
We're on the dance floor now.
I said, hey, boys, I'm thinking to myself, we might just win both these races, because I knew how good his car was. And hit the car. Golly, it just drives. I told him the front end is just so positive. When you turn the wheel, it just whoop.
You said it almost drives itself.
Well, and what I meant by that is you got to understand, I'm used to a tour mod with 600 horsepower. And at the stadium, we run a 10-inch tire, which is what they run, but we run a F15. They run a F45. The softness level is half as soft at Bowman Gray as it is on that tire. So what I'm getting to is you got so much grip in the tour mod and the horsepower that you can drive it in hard, stand on the brake, jank the steering wheel, stand up in the gas. With those cars, you've got a harder tire with less grip, and you got 200 less horsepower. So it's about making the car turn. And anytime I've ever gotten in something that was a 602 type motor with less horsepower, I tell them, go ahead and free it up before I even get in it, because I hate a tight race car. And then one of those has got to be really free. So when I turn the wheel in that car, the back end's just kind of floating around. We ain't got but 400 horsepower. Right. You can put the throttle down and it don't buzz the tires. In a tour mod, you can't get by with that because you'll just spin. So let me get to the end of the story there. We're third. The 2 guys in front of me both go to the bottom, so that puts me to the outside. And I roll 1 and 2 pretty good on the outside, and won both races. So I've done that one other time in my career, and it was at Ace. They had that monster modified series down there years ago, and I won 2 in the same day. But I won 2 in the same night.
Did they invite you back, or they tell you stunk to show up, don't
come
back?
No, not necessarily. I mean, look, after the race, imagine this, we were protested. After
Big
the race,
shocker.
they protested us and they pumped the motor. The motor has got all the Carolina Crate seals on it because he runs that car with the Lambros kid on the Carolina Crate series. They checked the tires, they pumped the motor. It's just Phil's got really good equipment and
good driver.
not to be arrogant, but I get around Ace pretty good.
Well, you've been doing it for 30 years.
No, Phil, we're going to do some more.
Awesome.
We're definitely going to do some more. He sent me the schedule yesterday of the races that they're having on Friday nights. There's one I can't do in August. That there was a race that they wanted me to do in August that I can't do because I've got other commitments. It's a Friday night, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I love Ace. I love driving anything.
Sure.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. Slate ran second, and I knew you were getting ready to say that, but it was a good night for us.
Well,
man. It was a good night.
What I was going to tell you was of the whole night, the most entertaining thing to me was when Slate's getting out of the car after the race. I think it was Boo Boo that came up and said, a little hot in there, isn't it? This ain't no modified. Right. Slate's just, I've never, even after a modified race.
They're hot. They're hot.
It's, but it looked like he put on a good show. Of course, great equipment, and, hats off to Boo Boo and those guys for giving him an opportunity. I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
Switching gears a little bit. So we've been trying to get our guest on today for a while, but he's very busy. He has been given the reins of one of the greatest spectacles in the country, greatest show on earth. We're not going to call him the ringleader of Barnum and Bailey, but no, we're excited to have Austin Shuford here. Austin, let me make sure I get your title correct. Is it the GM of Racing Operations?
Yeah,
at Bowman Gray? Is that correct?
That's close. Yeah,
okay,
yeah, close enough.
Yeah,
well, the general manager. Yeah.
Well, I know when you graduate medical school, you want to be called a doctor. Like,
you want to
get
call it whatever you want. Yeah.
So, having the reins of Bowman Gray, I know a lot of people, might hear your name or see it in print, but they can't put a face with the name, and so it's exciting for us to have you here. Yeah. I guess really my first question is how did you get here? Like, how does that path get paved to end up with NASCAR saying, "All right, Mr. Shuford, here you go. Here's Bowman Gray Stadium."
Yeah, that's a great story, and it's really long, so I'm going to try to shorten it down as much as I can. But so I had just finished college, coming out, didn't really know what I wanted to do. Always been a big race fan. NASCAR, huge in my family, watching it Sunday with Granddad, going to local short tracks. East Lincoln Motor Speedway was my first introduction, which is dirt track in East Lincoln. So my dad took me there, but yeah, just finished college. Had been working at this golf course called Verdict Ridge in Denver, North Carolina, for my high school career, my college career. I moved up. There's a man by the name of Jeff Dickerson who walked in, who became a member, and Jeff, of course, is the co-founder of Spire motorsports, and I was just real nice to Jeff. I got him what he needed, did my job, basically. And Jeff was like, "Man, what are you doing here?" And I was like, trying to find out what I want to do for the rest of my life. That's what I'm doing. And Jeff's like, he's like, "I may have a spot for you." He's like, "You want to go promote racing in Macon, Illinois?" And I said, "Yeah, that sounds like fun." I was like, "I love racing." I was like, "That sounds like a good job. I'll go do that." So he puts me in touch with Joey Denowitz. Joey hires me. Joey sends me off to Bob Sargent, who is well known throughout the Midwest. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows Bob. Yeah. So I got the chance to learn from Bob for 4 years, all about short track racing, promoting, doing ARCA, sprint cars, dirt, asphalt. Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway was my second home for a long time. CRA series, the ASA stuff that he ended up starting, that was kind of when I was heading out, but it was just so much travel and just beaten down all the time, running around, doing everything. And I called Joey one day and just said, "Hey man, listen, I'm ready to come back home. I miss home. Illinois and nowhere close to North Carolina." Not saying anything bad about it, but it's just not North Carolina. And he's like, "Well, I may have something for you." He's like, "Just give me a little time. Something's coming down the pipe. I think you'd be great for it." And I think he knew I'd be great for it because of my personality. I know how to talk to people. I know how to respect people. And this is a job that comes with a lot of different personalities. Yeah. You got to learn how to talk, and you got to treat people the same. You know, you got to be fair, or at least I try to be. And when Joey called me and actually told me the opportunity was the GM of Bowman Gray, I was like, hold up. What?
What?
I was literally like, my goodness, that's insane. That's crazy. I watched the Madhouse show with Granddad. Like he loved it. And to think that, okay, now I'm going to go and learn from the family and figure out everything. I mean, it was just eye-opening. It was amazing to me. And being, you know, how old was that at the time? 27, I guess. So, you know, I was like, yeah, sign me up. Put my name, whatever you need me to do,
right.
I will do it. So I come back home, move back down, get to see my family, having a great time. Go meet with Gray, start kind of getting we actually met at a McDonald's in Statesville. It was me and Gray's first meeting. He sat down with a big stack of papers and was like, here. And he's like, go combing through everything. This is this is that. He was like, now you're going to forget everything I just told you. He's like, and you're going to see what it's like when you actually get there.
Yeah.
So,
Had you been to Bowman Gray before that?
No, I'd only seen it on TV.
Okay.
But I'd known of it well. So that was my first, you know, the first practice I came around, and Bert, I don't think you were there yet, but I kind of just went and talked to everybody, introduced myself, like, hey, I'm Austin. Nice to meet you. One thing that kind of bit me in the butt that I probably shouldn't have done was give my number out to all of you.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, for obvious reasons.
If you need something, call me. Never took.
I thought that was a good idea at the time. I mean, and it still is. I wanted to be open with you guys. I wanted to, like, if you needed something, I wanted to be able to, hey, call me.
Yeah.
You know, but that turned sour quick. But I don't really regret it, but it probably wasn't the best decision to make.
That's a learning evolution.
It
you
is.
chalk that up to learning
it's
evolution.
A young kid not knowing what he's doing. So, but that's how I got here.
We are Citrusafe, where good grilling is made better. We have prided ourselves in being the industry pioneer for safe grill cleaners. Our citrus-powered grill cleaner spray, nylon bristle brushes, and pads is all you need when it comes time to safely clean your grill. We strive to not only save you fuel, but also avoid the dangers associated with ingesting metal wire grill brushes. Citrusafe is available at all major retailers nationwide and online on Amazon.com. Citrusafe, the proud sponsor of the Orange Bumper podcast.
So Jeff Dickerson brought me in, took me out of a golf course, sent me up to Illinois to promote racing. I learned a lot from Bob Sargent. I mean, a ton from Bob, and kind of, you know, how to make stuff work on a very limited budget. Yeah. Like there's 6 people.
You don't have
who
that
run.
problem now.
No. Well, I mean, I still try to do the same.
Right.
I still have that same mentality. And then, I mean, from there, it's coming here, and now, you know, Joey was my boss for a couple years, those 2 years, and now he's moved on, and now it's Clay. So I've had the chance to learn from some of the best promoters in the world. I mean, even, you know, Tim Bryant down at Five Flags, I've learned from him. I've learned from Bob. I've learned from Greg McCarnes up in Wisconsin. Now Clay Campbell at Martinsville. So I've had the chance to see how some of the really, really good ones, great ones, Gray, do it. And now I guess it's time for me to put my own style. Like take what I learned and, you know, see how it goes, right?
It's one of the most humbling things I would imagine, and I can somewhat relate to this. As a trooper, you always work for somebody, and you say, if I was in charge, I wouldn't do it that way. I'd do it this way. And then you know, I got promoted a couple times. I was a first sergeant, and the state gives me 2 counties. They said, you're now in charge of Davie and Yadkin County. Here you go, run it as you see fit. Well, now all of a sudden you're like, ooh, well, if it comes back on me, I don't know that I do it the way I always said I would.
Right.
You know, but having the opportunity to take ideas that you have or all the different people that you've worked under, you know, you have good people that you work under, and you're like, I'm definitely going to, you know, embody that. But you also, you know, see things you're like, I'll never do that if I ever get in charge. But getting the opportunity to craft something that's yours. I mean, granted, you have a team, and there's, you know, it's not just you, but at the end of the day, the decision is yours. That's a pretty unique responsibility. One that I'm sure at some point you scratch your head and you say, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into?
Every once in a while. I mean, my first big decision at Bowman Gray, and Bert can tell you this, was when I, you know, didn't let personal vehicles into the pits on that Saturday. Boy, you was hot. And then Tim came in right behind you. I had to carry Tim's stuff in because I felt so bad. And that was my big humbling moment. Like, hold up, you stay in your lane. You learn this place first. Don't come in making changes like this when. Because where I come from, you don't have personal cars in the pits.
Right.
Like most other pits, you don't have personal cars in there unless there's a certain situation. And heck, we were so packed in. Jimmy comes to me and it's like, there's no parking.
Yeah.
Like we have nowhere else to go. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. And this is my first real day. And I'm like, okay, no personal vehicles in pits. Get the word out. Whatever you got to do. And then, of course, you come at me like, who's this kid coming in here?
Yeah,
we walked straight down the back of the
I'm
field
sure
house.
I came off that way.
And then Tim's right behind you like, this knucklehead's done went and here it goes. Here it starts. We're screwing everything up. And then I'm like, I see Tim carrying all the stuff, so I felt bad. So I was like, here, let me help you. And I walk over with him, get his stuff to his trailer, and then he goes off on me about, this is how we sell merchandise. This is how we get stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff that I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. And that was my experience of like, okay, slow it down, kid. Pump the brakes. You got to learn this stuff first before you start kind of messing with stuff. And I haven't tried to change much since.
Right.
You learn that different's not wrong. It's just different.
Yeah.
Like your experiences, you saw it done this way, but because it's done differently at the stadium doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just different.
Exactly.
And so, that's one of the things. And I know from a fan's perspective, and you and I talked earlier, and I said, with this show, obviously Bert brings the racecraft and the experience of a race car driver and his opinions on how things should be done from a racer's point of view. And I'm kind of more of a fan. I have different questions that he probably takes for granted. And I know as a fan, one of the things that we as a whole were really interested about is, all right, with this new guy coming in and NASCAR taking over, like, they're going to wreck everything. Like everything that's made this place great, they're just going to totally change. And to y'all's credit, and just my opinion, you haven't done that. I've seen an uptick with tech. I've seen you all take a hold of some of the way outside the bounds stuff on some of these cars. But I think all the drivers wanted to see that. They would say, just put us on a level playing field, and not that it was incorrect before, but again, difference not wrong. It's just different. So when NASCAR when Joey calls you, do they? And I'm not asking for information from a privileged conversation. Maybe I am. So do they kind of give you expectations? They say, all right, we want you to go in, but here's home office's expectations of what we want you to do. Or do they just say, don't screw it up?
Don't screw it up. Don't screw it up. And, the first thing is, learn. Like, that was my objective, was to take what Gray and the family do, learn it, get the back end, the stuff that you guys don't see, the finances, all that, the hiring the employees, all of that. Get that done. Make sure that that's taken care of from a corporate standpoint inside. But then listen to Gray, listen to Dale and Lauren, who are gone now, but, take your first year and learn from them at the most you can. And, Gray still stayed around with us and, still, I think I'll be there if I'm there for 40 years, I still would learn something new every day.
I do.
That place changes so much.
Every
all
race
the time.
I learn something.
Every
race.
it is a constant place of change, but it's still like constant state of being the same. It's crazy. And that was the directive, kind of. I guess the best way to say it is just don't screw it up. Learn, take your time, and we put you in this position. We trust you. Do it. So that was pretty much how it
with the stadium being so unique, and we had Gray on last year, and just from my relationship with both of you, you're two very different people, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't say that bad at all. But one of the things Gray was really kind of surprised me with how transparent he was just how important the entertainment value is. And so one of the things that as a fan, I'm curious to hear from you about is, you have this entertainment value, and you've got a quality of racing value. And, fans want one thing, drivers probably want another. As the GM, what's more important to you, the entertainment value, the racing value, or making sure you can balance it all?
I think it's the balancing, right? I think I don't care what anyone says. Bowman Gray puts on fantastic racing. I mean, if you watch, you have to. It's a quarter mile around the football field. You have to bump. You have to bump and run. You have to You have to move people out of the way. It produces fantastic racing on its own. You don't have to do anything for that. You have to make it a fair playing field for the guys, right? Put every single one of you in the same car. Let you go at it. I guarantee you that the entertainment value is going to come from the great racing that's there. But at the same time, there is also that balance, right? There's a lot of personalities. It's like I think you said it, even the family reunion every Saturday night when you come out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it feels. And
in the stands and the pits.
It stands and the pits, exactly. There's been so many people that I've met, fan-wise, driver-wise, who every Saturday I look forward to seeing them. I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to – I'm hoping that something crazy happens. Not crazy, but something exciting happens, right? Something that
mutually
makes
beneficial.
Everybody stand on their feet. When I see everybody standing on their feet, I'm standing up there with them.
Right.
I'm like, let's go. Let's do it. Justin Taylor last week's a good example of that. I was watching him because I'm like, oh, this is a heck of a race. That sportsman race was fantastic,
It was.
I think. And just watching him and, getting that win, and after everything, rough season and everything else that's been going on, I think that was pretty special. And I was standing up with everybody else, cheering or booing or whatever, which way you want. I mean, I think it's a balance between it. And I think, my job and our job as a whole is just to make it fair for you guys, right? To make the quality fair enough where you guys are going to make the product. Yeah. You guys are going to make the entertainment. I have full faith that every single one of you over there knows how to make the entertainment.
Yeah.
I have faith in you guys.
The formula helps that out too.
Yeah.
The draws and the inverts.
The draws
and all that.
And that
it helps the
does.
situation.
It does.
But it's a great formula. And that's what he's alluding to is, as a driver, that was the fan's perspective. Right. As a driver, we didn't want to, what do they say, upset the apple cart. We didn't want, let me say this. We all had the same concerns that, not just because I'm not saying that NASCAR's a bad thing, but when NASCAR came in, things are going to change. Because as people, as humans, nobody likes change. Yeah. Because you're used to it. This is the way it goes. And we were all concerned that, what's going to change? What's going to happen? What are they going to do different? But at the same time, I'm open-minded enough to give NASCAR enough credit and you guys enough credit that your goal is to make it better.
Right.
Your goal is to make it better. So I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to buy into it, even though the way it's been that I've been racing there for 30 years, it's kind of been the norm, this is the way it flows, and some things are becoming different. So far, they've been okay. Some parts, the tech stuff. For years, everybody called Bowman Gray a free-for-all. I mean, Bowman Gray is a free-for-all. You do whatever you want. And drivers kind of police themselves, kind of knew what they could get by with and what they couldn't get by with. I remember days when tire soaking was the norm. You stacked them up and sprayed them right there in the pits. Yeah. That's just what you did. And to get all of that in line and put all of it in a box, I'm happy to see that. But I've always said this, as a driver, all I ever ask for is consistency. Tell me what the rules are, play the game by the same rules for everybody. And the protest process, okay? When my motor got protested, did I like having to pull my head off and send it to NASCAR and get it back on Thursday? And no, that was a lot of work, a lot of hassle for me, but it was the process. And it was done correctly. We got it back, we went on down the road. When I was protested the other night, my car's up in the air and the body panel's off of it and up on jack stands. That's a hassle for me. And I even said publicly, it kind of felt like I was robbed of, I finished first, Slate finished second. We started 16th and 22nd. Part of our enjoyment is being able to stand over there with our fans and hear their comments and talk about the racing and sign autographs. And I didn't get to do that. But the process was done correctly. Here's the money. Here's the protest. We did it. We passed. Okay, we'll move down the road. So there's good and bad that go along with it. But as long as that process stays the same and stays consistent, I'm okay with it. So I think that, you hear fans, the biggest thing from fans is if they ever charge for parking, I'll never go back. That's one of the biggest things. And I know you went up on the gate this year. Mm-hmm. Fans are going to kill me for saying this because everybody wants stuff cheaper, but still the cheapest racetrack in town.
And we also went up on the purses.
You did?
You guys are getting paid more.
We got paid more on the purse. Right. The pit pass is $25. The cheapest pit pass we pay anywhere is $35 to $40. Yeah. So still the cheapest pit pass. So it's still, inflation, gas goes up, everything goes up. We always, as racers, we say everything goes up but the purse. But this year the purse went up. So kudos to y'all. Because that's in a hole. I mean, that's always, tires go up, fuel goes up, pit passes go up, ice and drinks go up, generator gas. All that goes up, and then we still race for the same purse. So this year, at least the purse went up too. Yeah.
So. Racers are like farmers. You never met one that's made $1.
Right.
Ever. And coming in with, Gray's family and everything that have been there, for so long, and I guess you could call it like a generational shift because you have this family that's run it for however many years, and now you come in. What's the best advice? And it doesn't necessarily have to be from Gray, but what's the best, most useful advice somebody's given you to tackle this great big thing called Bowman Gray?
Don't rush. Don't rush your decisions. Think about it. Talk.
That's good advice.
Communicate, right?
That's good advice.
Don't just go ahead, bam, and that's great, right? Great. Let's relax for a second. Let's talk about this. Let's decide. Let's communicate. And that's been done properly most of the time. Other times, you win some, you lose some. Right. You try your best.
Right.
Everybody, we're all human, right? Was great to say, there's only one guy who was perfect.
One perfect man.
And they nailed him to a cross.
That's right.
That's, but that is really good advice. Take your time. Think about it. What are you doing here? What are they doing here? Understand. And then once you have as much information as you could possibly have, make a decision. Go with what you feel is right and go make the rules. Yeah. Make the rules the same, right?
Right.
Be consistent with it. If you're going to let them play the game, at least tell them the rules and tell them hey, this is what's happening. This is what we're doing.
Right.
I think we've done a pretty decent job with that. And then NASCAR has been an extremely helpful tool with every resource that I have from top to bottom. Anybody that I reach out to from them answers right away. Mm-hmm. They talk to me. It's a fantastic organization to work for, to be honest with you. The best one that I've ever worked for, hands down. And I can't say enough good things about those people who are normal people. Because I come from a small business side with Bob. I'm thinking, I'm going to go to this corporate world. These guys are going to be kind of snooty and snotty and all this other stuff. You talk to them, and they're normal people,
just normal
like
people.
the rest of us. Yeah. And it's and that was very, how do I put it? It was a sigh of relief, right? To come
this
in.
Ain't so bad.
This ain't so bad.
Well, it's got to be a refreshing feeling to know that I've got normal people here to help me.
Right.
They just have a different title.
Who will answer? You know, if I call, they'll answer and talk to me and listen to me. And that means the world. And I think we've done a really good job. We've put a lot of money into it. We've new scoreboard, infrastructure, things you guys can't see. All the wiring. I know Joey came on and talked about it, but there's a lot of stuff that has been done around there. The little stuff in the background, behind the scenes that nobody even notices, that is really taking it to a new level. And I think we're going to get into some of the other stuff that we're doing now too a little bit later, so I won't spoil that. But yes.
Well, when you show up to the track, and I'm not talking about the business side of things as far as marketing, what you charge, all those things. From a competitive standpoint, as a GM, what is the hardest thing for you to tackle? I don't want to say like what's the worst case scenario that you have to deal with, but what's the one part of it that you just hate having to deal with, but it's just the nature of the beast?
Oh goodness!
Welcome to Front Street.
All right. I don't remember seeing that on the questions list. I'm just kidding.
Is it? No, it's here.
Great. Gray's still competition, right? So that's his main role. My role has always been, back up my officials, right? Back up those guys. That's their job, right? Mm-hmm. Is to listen to them on what they say, and also take in all the other factors and make the best decision you can with what you have. Now, I'd say one of the toughest things about going over there is the not knowing, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
There's going to be something that pops up that you just cannot prepare for. I could prepare years and still wouldn't matter. Mm-hmm. I come over there with knowing that something is going to pop up that I'm going to have to react to. You can be as proactive as you want, but it's all about reaction.
Fear of the unknown.
It's that. That's really the toughest part, I'd say, is that I know that I'm coming over there, and I guarantee you there's going to be something that I did not prepare for, no matter how good or how try or how much work I put in. But, I come over there and I try to put a smile on my face and deal with it the best way I can. And I like I said, it's like a family reunion, though. Mm. Like a family reunion. Yeah. Like, you never know what you're going to get when you go, right? Like, you never know if that cousin's going to...
What's Uncle Frank going to do today?
Is that cousin going to drink too much and get out his beliefs? Like, how's this going to run? So it's kind of the same thing. It's the unknown of when you come over there.
That's fair.
That's probably the biggest thing.
Well, I've been racing there for 30 years. Yeah. I've been going there my whole life. And I say all the time, there ain't a situation that I ain't been involved with or something that I ain't seen.
Hold
and
my
then
beer.
Something will pop up. Oh my gosh, what happened?
Right.
So it's the situation is not biased. It's just because you're just getting started.
Yeah.
I've been doing it my whole life, and it still pops up. Yeah. So it's just knowing how to deal with it is the key. So
one of the things that has always been an issue for fans and drivers alike is why there's not transponders at the track. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's coming to fruition.
Yeah. So I announced it last Saturday, right?
Let me tell how you did it, right? Which I'd heard. I'd heard the rumor that they were coming. Austin gets up to drive.
When he starts smiling, he says, "I want to explain this."
I hope he does.
No. It's fine. Austin gets up to driver's meeting. He's got a briefcase. He sets it down, and it's opening this way, right? And I know what's in that suit, in that briefcase. And he goes, "Guys, here we go." And it was like the Holy Grail. It's like the gold light shines out of this case. He goes, "Woo! Transponders!" And everybody's like, "Yeah!" So that's what happened. Is that not what happened?
That's exactly what happened. I wanted to have a little showmanship with it too. That's why I had it
awesome.
I had it down below, and Robert sent it to me, and I had it clicked open, but not all the way. So when I put it on the desk there and I opened it up, and the reaction I got, the only thing better is if y'all could have all stood up. That's the only way it could have been better. But every single one of you was just so appreciative. Because, I mean, it's something we've been asking for.
It's like we've said before. Everybody in that room has been the victim of a bad call because of a human error, because there wasn't an electronic data to back up the situation.
Yeah.
So we're like, man, I know I was in front of that guy when the caution came out, and they put him in front of me. Well, there was no hard data to go back to.
There's nothing to point to.
And now, forever our wives sat up there and wrote down the thing, and you know, and you could go back, and Richard Miller would walk down there and say, "All right, let me see your card. All right, let me see your card. Okay, you go here." Well, we don't even do that anymore. So there's no, backbone of where do we get our data from. Yeah. So when transponders are going to come out, I will say this, I've never been a big fan of going back to the last completed lap, because if I work a guy and I work a guy and I work a guy and I pass him off too and the caution comes out, he goes back ahead of me. But other series we race at go by that format. There's been times where I've been passed and the caution come out and I go back in front of him. But at least we know there's a line.
You know why.
We know why it was done. You can explain it to me,
right?
And that's all I've ever wanted is if I come to Austin and I say, "Austin, why did this happen?" And he goes, "This is why it happened." Yep. And I go, "Okay,
fair
enough." But the formula now is like, why did I get put in the back last year when I got put a lap down? Why did you put me a lap down? Well, we saw you go in and we wasn't sure. And how can you put me a lap down? Well, it was our mistake. Yeah, sure was. If you had a transponder, you could go, okay, wait, stop. Okay, no, he's on the lead lap. So that's all I've ever wanted is show me why you did it. Tell me why you did it. So transponders, I think, is going to be a positive thing.
Will it be for all 4 series?
So for right now, like let's crawl, walk, run. Right? Don't go straight to running. That goes back to my point. Don't rush it.
Right.
Sure.
So it's starting with modifieds. We'll still got a few more things that we got to tidy up on our side. Get the process. Are we going to go back to the previous? How are we going to do that?
Right.
Figure that out, and then probably come in, run a test with it, and then once we feel comfortable enough, let's go. Yeah. Let's take it from there. Run it with the modifieds this year. See what that brings. Come in next year. We'll see what happens. Maybe run another full year with the modifieds. Go from there and figure out what we want to do. But I got to give a big thank you to Clay Campbell and NASCAR, the senior executives, my bosses at NASCAR for doing this. Yeah. It's them, not me, right? It's those guys who were listening to you and hearing you and saying, okay, well, let's find a way to make this work. Yeah. How can we budget this to make this happen? And we made it happen, made it work. That line that everybody sees now in turn 4, that's coax, running up and everything. Yeah. I think running the Clash twice kind of let us see from a weekly side, like, hey, we can do this. Yeah. There's a way. There's a way, even though there's, it's not through the infield. Right. That kind of stuff.
And Joey, see, whenever the first year of the Clash, and me and Joey did a track walk. Mm-hmm. He said, come here. We were there for something. And he said, come here. And we and Joey walked the track. And I said, are we going to have transponders or not? I just flat out asked him, we're going to have transponders this year or not? He said, probably not this year. And I said, well, the Clash is here with, I'm poking him. Right. I said, Joey, the Clash is here. They got transponders. They can do it. Why can't we? Right. And something I had never thought about. He said, okay, the loop is at the start finish line. He said, what happens if you go into turn 1? He said, what? Because we even talked about, he said, if I put a loop in the middle of 1 and 2, middle of the backstretch, in the middle of 3 and 4, and there's one on the start finish line. We got 4 loops. What happens if you go into turn 1 and they crash and you cut through the infield to miss it? And that doesn't score you. I was like, never thought about that. Mm-hmm. So it's the whole crawl, walk, run thing I get, because you still got to have somebody sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe even a backup line scoring or whatever that can go, wait. Even though that car's not on the transponder thing, we saw him cut through. He was not in the wreck. That guy still keeps his position.
Absolutely.
So it's still going to be a task.
Yeah, and we're still going to have backups. You know, we'll still have the scorers up there scoring by hand, and then the computer sitting there doing the computer side. Yeah, and it'll be a learning curve. Yeah. But we'll get there. We got good people.
It's like I said, it's going in the right direction.
Yeah, going in the right direction. We got a great team. We'll get there, and then hopefully, we'll get to a point. Everybody's on transponders. We running it. No more questions about, hey, he's just going around. Like, why am I put 4 cars behind him, or why am I a lap down? I remember that conversation between me and you. Yeah, Gray last year. And everything else that transpired. That was a fun one. Well, that's one of the things that, like I said, you can't expect happen.
If he's raising hell at you, I don't know how in the world I would use the word fun in that conversation.
Well, it's because you know me. If I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm right, I'm probably not going back.
You'll die on that mountain.
Now, and I'll be respectful. And I won't cuss you. I won't dog you. Mm-mm. But I'm going to make you see where I'm coming from.
And then you had to see where we were coming from.
I did.
I don't want to. But
it was a mistake that was made. Yeah. On Scoring's part. It was a mistake. And whenever I was told, I didn't like it, but when I was told, look, you're right, we made a mistake, what else can I say?
Right. Yeah.
What else can I say? Just like the other situation we were talking about earlier with 2 cars and you see a video and you go, oh my gosh, that was my fault.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know. I don't think that they sat up there and intentionally put me right down.
Right. It's a hard job.
It's a hard job. I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want your job. I've told Gray before, I don't want it. Nuh-uh.
I'd tell any fan up there, you try it. Go ahead and try to score the race.
I get it.
It is extremely tough.
I get it.
I've had to do it a couple of times, and I'm terrible at it. So I don't like when I look over at them. I'm like, guys, I know it's tough.
Yeah.
Like I don't jump on them because I know it's not easy.
Sure.
If it's something that I can't do, like I can't just say, go off and oh, what are you doing? He was lap down, all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, it was never. We didn't know, right?
Right.
And the payout has been signed. Everything had been done.
And see, that was a mistake on our fault.
Exactly. So
because we had never been in that situation.
Right.
We go in there and I say, oh, yeah, I finished 4th or 9th or whatever it was. And my mama goes in there and she goes, because she's collecting money for 5 cars for 2 races. So there's 10 envelopes she's collecting. And she's like, yeah, okay, what's the other one? Okay, all right, thanks, Rick. All right, thanks, Robert. All right, yep, all right, thanks, see you later. And we leave. Well, they were like, well, your mom signed for you there. And I'm like, whoa, what? But I didn't finish there. Well, you signed it. We did. We did.
That's why we can't go back.
And that's why they
look
said
at
we
it
can't
and
go
change.
back and change it because you signed for it.
Exactly.
You
And
don't have to like it, but you understand it.
like I said
That was
earlier,
our point, right?
Like I said earlier, you explained to me why you did what you did.
Right.
And I accepted the fact that we did. So now my mom, when she goes in there, she goes, wait, hold on. Okay, okay. Because I tell her, don't you sign nothing without going in there. But just the other night, my mom's, no big deal. My mom and her sister went to Rome. They've been in Rome. They're coming back tomorrow. Well, for the last 2 weeks, we've had to go in there and get payout. Well, last Saturday night, or the Saturday night before, I went in there to get payout. And it's crazy, and it's people in there, and there's everybody going crazy, and there's envelopes everywhere. And I didn't look. I was like, yep, thanks. And I got outside. I was like, well, I hope all that's right.
But you learn more from your mistakes,
So then this week when I went in there, I was like, okay, hold on. All right, yep, that was mine. I handed it, or it was slates. I said, here, count this. And I took mine and I counted it. And I was like, okay, this week I'm going to make sure I do it,
Right.
So it was just part of the deal. And like I said, you just try to make sure it don't happen again.
That's right.
Transponders should help that. So
I agree. I think, but I mean, technology is supposed to make life easier, right?
supposed to.
Yeah. When has that ever been the case, right?
Right.
I mean, there's still going to be things, but
It's not a fix-all, but it'll help.
it'll
and that's all you can ask for.
Move to the
Some
right
assistance.
direction.
Yep.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, Clay Campbell and all of my bosses higher up in NASCAR who let us do this, it means a lot.
Yeah.
It's a good thing for everybody. A round of applause. I wish everybody could have heard it because
Yeah.
it was the loudest round of applause.
The next thing we appreciated is when he came out and told us we weren't going to be charged for him.
Yeah, that's it.
And I was like,
you don't have to rent
thank
them.
you.
You don't have to rent
I
them.
don't know if you heard me. I said, thank you.
I didn't know, but everybody was pretty happy about that.
I said out loud, thank you.
Now, if you don't return them, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah,
but,
you're gonna have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to make sure that's.
but no, everybody. I think
I know
everybody
there's
did
all.
good.
I know. I'm sure your list is this long of things that you got to make sure
Right.
is. You
Right.
know,
We got to get the procedures down, how we're going to do it,
Yeah.
what it looks like, training, all that stuff. But we're close, right?
Yeah.
We're as close as we've ever been. So
we're good.
And I don't think the general public generally understands with things like this or any change. It's not just, let's change that. Done, implemented.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that has to go in, from concept to execution with things. Transponders, you got to make sure that they work. You got to have testing because the last thing you want to do is put it out there and it just fall flat on its face.
Right.
Let it fall flat on its face during the testing and the R&D and all that stuff. Because as you said earlier, your number one goal is to have a good product. We can't have a good product by just not taking time to do it right.
right,
And so kudos to y'all for not rushing it, for the correct people having the conversations, getting it done. Because I think it will eliminate one set of complaints. But I think race car drivers are just like troopers I used to work with. You give them one thing that they want, they find two more to
Can't
bitch
you hear
about.
it now? You got transponders now. How'd you screw that up? Be ready.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
I
But
thought when you got transponders, you wouldn't screw this up no
this will
more.
all be fixed. Yeah, the grass isn't always greener. I've always learned that.
You know what my
but,
preacher said one time?
what's that?
It said that the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence until you find out it's over a septic tank.
That's right. That's right. That's
true
a good
words.
one. That's a good one.
well, what is it? And I just saw this morning the concert that's going to go on here in a couple of weeks. I don't think a lot of people know about that. And we'll get into that in just a second. But is there anything else that's on your radar? I'm not. Well, maybe I am asking you to break news. I know there had been some discussion about with the scoreboard. Had to have touring series come in for X amount of years. Can you discuss not only the concert, but are we going to have a touring series? This year's ruled out because we had the Clash, but next year and so on and so forth, is there going to be a national touring series that comes to the stadium?
Well, I think that's public knowledge, right? That we're bringing in some type of touring series, national touring series. That was the whole point of the scoreboard agreement and everything that we did there. So I don't know what that is. My focus is weekly racing. That's enough.
Yeah.
That in itself.
He's like,
is
no,
a
I don't need no
full
more of
plate.
that right now.
So when I get told, I get told probably a little bit earlier, but just around the same time as everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now we go into planning mode for whatever's coming. But this concert is going to be, I think, pretty awesome. It's the first time since, 1984?
I think that's what I saw, yeah. So you may not know yet, but so it's just going to be like a stage in the infield? Or?
I think so. So the city's putting it on, right? And we're partnering with them. We're actually going to have a 2-day ticket, which is going to be great. So you can come watch the concert
cool.
and then come to the race the next day.
That's smart. It's what that is.
We're going to try to get your race cars out there, right?
Yeah.
And line them around the stage, highlight you guys too. I think that'll be awesome to see. I think that's going to be a great shot,
Yeah.
Is it Trace Adkins?
Yeah, it's Trace Adkins
And
and
Aaron
Aaron
Tippin.
Tippin.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with his radio.
Remember
that.
That's
There's
right.
nothing wrong with his radio.
I mean, I grew up listening to both of those guys, so I want a ticket, right?
That would be a very Americana concert.
Yeah.
Well, my 17-year-old is he's got an old soul, and when he saw that yesterday, we're in the shop, and I don't know who even mentioned it. And maybe Corey. Somebody said they're having a concert at Bowman Gray. So Slate grabs his phone. And he's like, Tracy, Aaron Tippin. He's with Dad. Can we get tickets? I said, I'm sure we can figure something out. So,
Couple more steps. How's it going? Are you me? Yeah, I'm you from the future. Well, hold on, let me shoot this deer real quick. Yeah, that deer's gonna wind you because you didn't use your limit shield. Told you so. Anyway, I got a jet. Just remember to use your limit shield. Oh yeah, and if Mike asks you to go to Tijuana, don't go.
that was cool because he wants to go. One of his songs is Ain't Nothing Wrong with the Radio.
Yeah.
That's one of his songs on the playlist. So
I guess
that's going to be fun.
I guess just thinking out loud, they would put the stage right in front of the field house so that all the seats would be good seats.
Well, either that, because I'm just sitting here running.
Feel free
to
to interject if you know any of those.
I don't. I'm
just hypothesizing.
You about have to. Here's what I would do. I would have the stage, because when you go to most concerts, they got the big screens.
Oh yeah.
Part of the stage, have the stage level with the big screen behind him.
Yeah.
And put it down there next to the field house.
Right.
Well, they might
with
not.
the big screen behind him.
Yeah.
And have it.
They might not do a stage. They might have them perform on the balcony.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You could.
I mean,
That'd be interesting.
You
That would be-
like logistically speaking, that would prevent having to do set up and tear down.
You
in
would
such a
think,
short.
because like most concerts, I guess you would have like, what do they call it, the pit.
Mm-hmm.
So people would be in
Right.
the infield,
Yeah.
and then you'd sell the tickets up top too.
Right.
That'd be a cool ticket if you could bring a lawn chair and sit
So
in the
here's what you
infield.
do. Here's
That
what
would
you
be
do.
really cool.
Here's what you do is that the grandstand ticket is a grandstand ticket for both days. If you're in the middle, it's your pit pass for 2 days.
That is a really good idea. Logistical nightmare, but a great idea.
We're not worried about that. You can
But I'm
handle
saying
that.
is that's your if you buy that ticket, but you still got to have your NASCAR license to buy a pit pass.
Yeah.
Because I got news for you. Fans may not like it, but you'll fill that infield up with racers from Bowman Gray that have it. It's not like you could say, well, I don't know how many tickets we could sell if you make them buy a NASCAR license.
Yeah.
You're going to fill it up with people. Think about if you had 75% of the people who are normally in the pits at Bowman Gray buy that ticket because they're going to come the next night anyway.
They'd fill it.
They fill it slam full.
Right there.
So,
I mean,
yeah, who
that's
knows,
a
man?
neat idea.
Just solving problems
And
one
like I
at a
said,
time.
just put it down there next to the bottom, have his stage elevated just enough to where the screen is behind him.
Yeah. I think it's in good hands with the city.
Oh, yeah, they'll figure it out.
I think
Yeah.
they have so much knowledge on putting on concerts
Yeah,
with all the
this isn't
stuff they
their
do.
first rodeo.
I think it's cool that they're bringing it back to the stadium, and I'm glad they're letting us partner with them. and actually do this kind of 2-day ticket deal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's great for the city. It's great for Winston-Salem. It's great for our communities. I mean, it's all the way around a win-win, I think. And then we still get practice on Saturday morning, which is going to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, we still get practice Saturday morning. We still get to race the next day. Everything's going to be cleaned out and ready to go.
They did Guns N' Roses at the BB&T Stadium where Wake Forest plays. And
really?
It was a good show.
I remember that. Yeah, I think I remember that.
That was I worked that night. That was that was insane. But yeah,
I think that's one of the things about NASCAR coming in that we knew was going to be a perk. And I had said before, and I'll say today, that it was very cool to me as someone whose family's been there since day one for NASCAR to recognize what we've always known was so special about Bowman Gray, for bringing the Clash in, for them to bring the NASCAR Cup Series to Bowman Gray Stadium was cool for me. And there's not a lot of stuff that's cool for me anymore because I've been around it so much. But it's like, man, this is cool. Yeah. This is cool.
Do you remember when you guys were grand marshals, right? Mm-hmm. We were walking around. That pre-race, that first pre-race, first class, I had chills.
Oh, yeah.
I about cried.
Oh,
I mean, it was like...
That was awesome.
Everybody was on top. It was like Saturday night.
It was.
But with the big guys.
It was.
And watching how they put on that show and the production value and everything that they put into it, it is amazing to watch that work.
I was impressed with the logistical part of it. Like the things that... Obviously, the end result... But what it took to get there.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and I think Joey said there were how many miles of cable that were run around that place?
It's a lot.
Ridiculous.
I became good friends with the IT guys. I love those guys to death. And, I still just talk to them every once in a while. How you doing? You know? The one guy, Bob, he goes to Brazil every year, brought me back some spices from Brazil. Yeah? And we tried it on our stuff, and it's cool. It's wild. I mean, so you build those relationships with people, right? And you spend a lot of time with them, and you get to see their process. It all sounds like Chinese to me because I'm not a tech guy, right? I mean, it's so cool to watch them, and I'm like you said, like I wouldn't want your job, I wouldn't want your job, right? Like it's like one of those things that you're saying that you just know that like I can't do that. I need to stay away from that. That's not me. No. So
have you had any kind of when I say you, Bowman Gray, had any discussions with because the Crown Vic series that y'all have brought over, I think is awesome. If I had 3 thumbs up, I'd give you 3 thumbs up. But Cletus is known for Crown Vics. And we've tried organically from a grassroots effort to try and recruit him to come join the Dirty South guys.
I haven't pushed super hard yet, but I'm getting to the point where I'm going to make it happen.
Please.
There's a lot of synergy where we can make it happen. But is that something that the stadium would, want? Obviously, you would probably want to get him there. That'd be huge. But have y'all had any kind of contact with him or his people? I mean, have they showed any interest in coming?
To be honest with you, Philip, I get so busy just doing the regular day-to-day, and I haven't had the chance. And when we switched to the Crown Vics, they kind of replaced the chain race. That was kind of it was going down. It's a great thing. I love the chain races. I wish we could do both of them, but it was.
No, Crown Vics are better.
We need to bring in something, and these are so popular. Tony's a great guy to work with, and we told him straight up, this isn't a series. Like this is exhibition races for you guys. You guys are replacing, kind of the exhibition style kind of racing that you're doing there. And it happened so late that, we never really got the chance to even talk about a Cletus coming or something coming. Not to say that we can't do it in the future.
Yeah.
I'd love to. I hope he listens to this podcast. I hope he comes. You have a free invite. I think that would be fantastic. Please let us know.
That's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, the problem is I think we're gonna eventually have Cletus on here. The problem with Cletus, if I'm Cletus, I know that if I go to Bowman Gray Stadium, it's like Dale Jr. going to Walmart.
Yeah.
He will be mobbed. And if he goes in an environment where you drop him off at the back door of the field house or drop him off at the tower and he goes straight up there and he's protected and nobody can get to him, then he looks like a butthole.
Right. Yeah.
So he's in a no-win situation.
Yeah, he is.
but I feel we're going to have him on here.
Well,
You know, Danny was at the racetrack. So.
Yeah, but I think
Downforce Danny.
I mean, we really do, and I seriously mean this when I say it. We have the best fans on the planet.
Absolutely.
You know, I've been doing the welcome Bowman Gray. I've been sick. So I've been out for about 3 weeks. But when I came back, you know, I do the welcome to the fans to Bowman Gray. And when I say we have the best fans on the planet, we have the best fans
I agree with that.
on the planet, hands down. Generations have said up there.
Yeah.
You know it all too well. And every time I meet one, I'm like, wow, you guys are so good. You know, you see the stuff on Facebook.
Passionate.
Those people aren't the same people. I mean, but the real fans that we have, I don't think he'd get mobbed as much as he thinks he would.
Yeah.
And I think when he talks to these people, they're the greatest people you ever. He's going to want to come back. I guarantee you. If he does it once, he's going to be like, oh, I got to go back and do that.
It's a perfect match.
We told Danny that when we had Danny Stockman on here. Who he's a crew chief for you know, and he was at Bowman Gray's Saturday night doing some stuff and everything, and we talked about it with him. And I said, dude, Bowman Gray is right up his alley.
Yes.
Cletus would be a perfect fit for Bowman Gray. That's his people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and I wouldn't try and set it up where like he's signing autographs up on the top.
No,
I mean, just him out there racing and do the gentleman start your engines, thing at the beginning.
I mean,
and
really
let him race. I mean,
let him race. That's the big thing, right? I mean, that's what he wants to come and do, right? I mean, he all the other sideshow spectacles, that's great and everything, but at the end of the day, everybody wants to race Bowman Gray. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, they do.
Everybody wants to come and race Bowman Gray. There's so much history, so much passion, and it's fun. I want to race Bowman Gray. Nobody's stupid enough to let me in their race car. I wish they were. Or maybe one time.
Whatever happened to that ride-along car that they had?
We still got it. We still got it. Yeah.
See, I've always thought that would be a great opportunity.
I'd like to ride in one of those with you.
Well, no, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would. You ride, so I'll let you ride with me, but you're not going to let me ride with you.
You could, but you wouldn't want to.
Sure, I would.
I've always said that would be a great opportunity, and it may be something to think about down the road.
Absolutely,
is to have whether it's a drawing or a contest or some way to involve the fans. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you have a disclosure in case something happens, but once a month on a Saturday morning, when Saturday morning practice is over, those fans come in. You could have media there, the cameras, and really promote it to where they get 5 laps with their favorite driver. Yeah. In whatever division, who's your favorite driver? Yeah. And you get 5 laps in that modified, because even if you're a mini stock driver, you can get out there in that modified. Yeah. It's not like somebody might say, well, that guy doesn't run modified. Well, it doesn't matter. That's a crate type modified. It's a race car. It's Bowman Gray Stadium. They'll be fine. Race is a racer. I've always said, though, that would be a great opportunity to, because fans would love that. Fans would love that.
And honestly, we're getting there. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think you kind of hit it pretty, like what I'm thinking, what you're thinking is right on the same line, right? So I think the biggest thing that we got to do is find that time. Right? Yeah, find the time and
after Saturday morning practice would probably be
a great time.
Because there's downtime there from 12 to
3. Yeah, right. And then, like you said, cameras, publicity.
I think did we do it? No, we did it during the week when we had those talk show. It's the ones that the Kelly and whatever. It's the ones that look like them. Yeah, she was the little blonde head guy and the dark head guy, and we rode them around. That was during the week. I think we did that. That's been several years ago.
I just want to see, because I've been out there in a patrol car, but I want to see what the driver saw. Yeah, you can walk it and everything. But I want to ride in the car. I did the ride along. I probably shouldn't even tell the story. She'll think I'm a weenie. But we did the ride along at the Kyle Petty thing, right, down in Charlotte. Or Richard Petty, whatever it was. They got it for me for Christmas. And, I used to drive fast for a living. I get in the car and they buckle me up on the passenger side. And the first thing I notice is that I've got half as much safety equipment, but I'm twice as close to the wall as the driver. And the guy's, he looks like he knows what he's doing, and he hardly can move. And he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he was like, "You ever done this before?" I was like, "Nah." And he was like, "All right." He said, "Going fast doesn't bother you?" Like an idiot. I said, "Nah, man, I do about 150 on a daily basis. I'm good." Famous last words. Get me locked in, put the net up. He goes down pit road, grabs second, grabs third. We go through 1 and 2. We're at Charlotte. Going down the back straightaway. Then he hits fourth gear. And when you look at turn 3, to me, it just looked like an asphalt wall.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, he's going to lift. He's going to lift. He'll lift. He didn't lift.
No.
And I don't remember a whole lot from going into 3 and coming out of 4, but I do know that when we came out of 4, there was a roll bar that came right here. And I'm wrapped up on this thing. And I'm like, dude, because I didn't expect the G-forces. The
difference is when you weren't in control.
I wasn't in control.
Like, I don't know that I'd want to ride with somebody.
But
I'd do it. I'd drive
the
you, but I'm not going to ride with you.
Like the way I felt physically, I did not expect that. And then you throw in doing that with like 35 other cars this far away from each other.
Oh, yeah.
I had a whole new respect for race car drivers. Oh, yeah. Whole new respect. Because
there's a lot of people that I would love to strap in the passenger side and make some laps. It's like, why don't you hop in one time?
Well, about 3/4 of the Bowman Gray Facebook people, they all already know everything. Well, this coming week, we've got I'm really excited about the Twin 50s.
Yeah. Tough Shed, Twin 50s. Big thank you to them and what they've done. They've sponsored couple cars at the track now, and the track itself, coming in with this whole deal. Brad Massey and his guys have been fantastic to work with, and it's going to be a good show. And we got that Chick-fil-A promotion, which I don't know if a lot of people know about, but, all twin modified races this year. If the driver wins the first race and the second race, everybody in the stands gets free Chick-fil-A that night, which is there you go, Bert.
I hope I
you got those 2 trophies behind you. Did it in 20
I hope
laps.
I can bless those fans with Chick-fil-A.
Tim was close. Tim was fast. When I was watching last week, I was like, he redrawed 8th. Like you said, you get that caution. You get a real good chance.
Yeah.
I was like, this might be the night. But
Twin 50s is your best shot.
Yeah.
Because of the cone.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, if somebody does that, I will be a California voter, and I will go like 6-7 times. I will get all the chicken sandwiches I can.
I don't think it works like that, Philip, but you can try.
You can try.
Well, all right, maybe not. Love me some Chick-fil-A.
But no, I'm excited. You and Tim, what are you, 6 points apart in the so it's getting tight, right? Yeah. And Speeney's right behind you guys. So this is a good opportunity, good chance, just coming off of double points to see what happens. Is it going to get tighter? You going to pull away?
Who knows?
Is Tim going to pull away? What's going to happen? Yeah, that goes back to that unknown, right?
Yep.
But I know one thing: it's going to be a great show.
Yeah,
I know.
I love Twin 50s.
I think I do too. I think Twin 50s are some of the best racing we get.
You get some of the best car counts too, because everybody has not just one but 2 chances because it's a cone race.
Right.
And what was the name of the shed company again?
Tough Shed.
Tough Shed. I've seen them advertise, and kudos to them for coming on board, like you were saying.
Absolutely.
It's always cool to me when somebody, a company or business that might not necessarily, and I don't know if this is true with them, but where they might not understand the value of marketing and racing, and then you come to Bowman Gray and you're like, okay,
yeah. It's a honey hole.
I get it.
Yeah,
it's a honey hole.
It is.
I get it.
I've seen it on my side.
Yeah.
Is I'll tell people, and I'll be the first to tell you, when we run other series and stuff, the majority of the budget I have to run other series is from money that I get for racing at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Yeah.
Because that's where
where you're
going to be seen.
But you get that
you got
budget.
Flow, you got 17,000 people watching.
Yeah.
It's a NASCAR track now. I mean, it's just like we talked about with Slate. He got text and messages. I got messages and stuff. By the time I got back to my phone that night, Steve O'Donnell had already texted me, congratulations that Slate won the race. There's people watching.
Oh, yeah.
There's people watching. Yeah. So when I can go to a sponsor and say, look, this is how many, when Devin gets me numbers, Facebook numbers and social media numbers, and I can say, look how many views we had on our podcast. Look how many of this we had. Look how many of this we got. And they go, holy cow. For this much money, I can put my name out there in front of this many people?
I know.
We're blessed. We really are. I mean,
we all are.
We are very blessed with what we have. Because I remember, working with Bob, I used to scrape, beg, plead for sponsors, to come in and do some of these series and everything else. And that was tough. That was one of the toughest parts of the job. And then here it's we have such a loyal fan base and great product that, I mean, it comes like we're blessed.
Right.
And a lot of us know that and some of us don't. But at the end of the day, we have it really, really well, and very thankful for that. And that's because of the fans. Well, that's because of the fans and the drivers. You guys are the ones who put on the show.
It's the package. Yeah, it's the whole package.
Absolutely.
It's the whole package.
I know on any given 30-day span, and Devin's going to look at me with a crooked eye for saying this, but with any 30-day span during race season, if we exceed 1 million views easily, just on what we do, coming out of Citrusafe and with Bert and some of his partners. And for whether it's marketing dollars at the track, whether it's marketing dollars to the driver, you can't get a better bargain than you can. And I'm talking about the narrow lane Bowman Gray Stadium. You can't get a better bang for your marketing dollar because of all the things that you just said. What other track can realistically talk about getting just about anybody that you want to come? And I don't say that being arrogant, but it's the whole process has been built that you can have that discussion about, we'd love to get Cletus there, and we feel like we can make that happen, and that not be arrogant. Yeah. But for anybody out there that's looking at marketing your brand or your company or whatever, obviously we want you to come to Bert first and then go to Austin. Austin's going to want you to go to him first and Bert second.
Well, no, and that goes back to a good point is, Gray always taught me, you got conflicting sponsors. Some people can't come into the stadium because it just can't happen, but drivers need sponsors. You guys, look out for you guys, right?
Gray's always told me that. He said, we don't ever want to, we know you need money to be here.
Exactly. That's big too. And Citrusafe, thanks to them jumping on board with the track crew this year, they've been awesome. First off, their product is amazing. I use it on my smoker at home. Yeah. And my wife is big about the gristles on the brush and everything. So she doesn't like using any of those brushes. So she's let me buy the Citrusafe brushes. I told her about it and everything. And the whole the cleaning.
Well, we're gonna give you a kit when you leave here today.
Perfect. So. Awesome. Because I actually just
happy wife.
I don't get to grill as much, of course, during race season, but I hit it in the winter months. I'm out there with the coat on like this, smoking some ribs and whatever, brisket and Boston butts, but it's a great product, and I appreciate them coming on and stuff like that. I mean, that's again, we are blessed, and that's the biggest thing, and to help you guys too get sponsors is a big thing from our side, because we know that's how this sport's always ran, right? We can't do it without the sponsors. Those are, at the end of the day, those guys are the ones who make it possible first, and then you guys put on the show, and then the fans give us everything. Right. It's a circle, right? It's the circle of racing, I guess you could say. Absolutely. And we're in a great position. Yeah. And we're thankful for that.
One last question, and it just came into my head, and then we'll wrap this up. But with racing, everybody's got an opinion, right? And if you've got 1 million people watching, you've got 1 million different points of view. From your daily operations, if there was one thing that you think is such a misconception that you would like to, just in general, like fans see stuff, but they just don't understand. If there was one like general misconception that you've always wanted a platform to be able to say, hey, let me just explain this, whether it's, prices of something, whether it's a competitive rule, whether it's a, why is the season not long? Whatever it is. If there's one misconception out there and you had a platform to clear up the misconception.
That's a great question. And I think we talked before on what I really want to say here, but I'm not going to say that. The one misconception that I would think of, and you're going to probably look at me sideways too on this one, is that we play favorites. After coming in and looking at my scores, my officials, everything, the team that we have around us, there's no favoritism there. There may look like favoritism.
Oh, I'm called the golden child.
I mean,
you know that, right?
yeah,
They call
yeah.
me the gold. Bert gets away with everything.
Well,
He's
that's
the
the
golden
only
boy.
reason you're
so-
here is because we're all on the same
Yeah,
payroll,
yeah,
right?
I mean, that's the biggest misconception, I think. But at the same time, it also is kind of that entertainment value too.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we are. Maybe we are.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Now
No.
you sound like
No,
Gray.
no, no,
Doesn't that sound
now
just
it
like
sound like-
Gray?
yeah.
That sounds just like Gray.
Well, what do you want?
What,
What
did he, what was the words he used?
There was something along the
It
lines
wasn't
of
vanilla, but it
well,
was.
that's what I was, gonna say.
It vanilla? Because the one with Gray and I, we said the fans will always say, because I think we heard it the night that Slate won.
Mm-hmm.
Slate finished 14th and they drew him on the pole. Well, they wanted Slate Myers to win. It was all 14s
Right.
in that bag. And I said, Gray, why don't you do it to where the fans can see?
Right.
He said, because we want to keep them guessing.
Yeah.
He said, is it fair? Is it? Maybe there are 14s. And he laughed.
I'm sitting there.
We know there's not.
That's
Randy will say,
Yeah.
after you draw, I'll show them to you.
Yeah.
Or I can show them to
Yeah.
you now. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the times I've said, okay. And he pours them out, and they're all in there.
Yeah.
And all the numbers are in there. But there's been times I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, somebody, Junior, have a problem, or Tim have a problem in the first race, and you're like, all right, I'm going to gain some points this night. And then they draw 12th, and that's where he finished. I'm like, man,
They got it out for me.
Wonder if there was all 12s in the bag. Because this promotes more drama. So maybe they were all worth 12s in the bag.
Now I can't say what happened before I came in. I don't know what I don't know what they were. I know.
We
No,
looked,
they've-
and that's what I told. I said, I hate to spoil it, but
I mean,
when
that's-
they've showed me, the numbers were in the bag.
That's I mean, that is great promoting though, right?
Yeah.
Like that is a great promotional thinking. That's how, if anybody who wants to promote, that's the way your brain kind of needs
Right,
to work.
right.
Is to like keep people
Keep
guessing.
them guessing.
Because if in a perfect world, right, you want to sit on the pole, lead every lap, pack up, sign your autographs,
Yeah.
sell your merch, go
Yeah.
home, right?
Yeah.
But that's not the way it should be.
That's not.
That's
not. I get it. That's what I said. There's things that I don't. If I qualify on the pole, by golly, I deserve to start on the pole.
Yeah.
But when they draw and they invert and all that stuff, I know why they do it. I know why they do it. I get it.
Well, it was exciting, and I would have said this even if I wasn't, a fan of yours. The 100-lap race that you won with no front bumper, to me, like that's a story in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when there's all this discussion about one driver can't make a pass without bulldozing through everybody.
Yeah.
And then you have other people that are saying,
Somebody showed
there's
me
no-
one of them. You can't pass at Bowman Gray without knocking people out of the way. And I'm like, oh, okay.
And you have people, you have people
not
saying,
true.
Well, sometimes you can.
you can't race
Most
there.
times, actually, someone
yeah,
said.
well.
This, that, and the other. And then with no front bumper, you managed to go from, I guess you're around 15th when your bumper got dinged up or
Yeah.
turned north, from 15th to the lead with no front bumper without touching anybody, without shoving anybody out wide, without roughing anybody up, working Trey Hutchins, for a while, never jacked him up. So I don't know. I mean, it's Bowman Gray is just such a unleashed zoo animal.
It's
It's a phenomenon. I
it
mean,
really is.
It's an anomaly.
It is.
I guess.
It's you can't compare it to anything anywhere that I've ever been a part of.
I
I don't care what sport we're talking about.
Yeah.
It is from baseball, basketball, even other racetracks. There is absolutely nothing
It
like
can
Bowman
go
Gray
from
Stadium.
it can go from the
Which is one of the reasons that we didn't want to see any change. Because
Right.
we knew, the old school people knew, man, don't mess this up.
Yeah.
That's kind of our mentality was, oh man,
Where
don't
else
mess
can
this
you
up.
where else can you get a hybrid Daytona 500 and Jackass episode
Right.
at one place?
Basically.
You know?
Basically.
But I know I've enjoyed seeing what you all are doing, and I wouldn't want your job. I would like to have Gray's job. I say that, but I'd like.
Would you?
I don't think you want his
No,
either.
I don't think you
I
do.
would, and
I don't
I'll
think
tell
you
you
do.
why. I would not mind being the one that's in charge of how all the drivers with competition, like being the one that says, all right, these are the rules. Okay. This is what you got to follow. And then as each night comes through, dealing with those complaints. That was my favorite thing as being a trooper.
That's
I
not
love
the problem. That's not the
No, I'm
problem.
just
The
saying.
personalities of all the people you're dealing with is the problem.
But that goes with what I'm
Because
going
you
to
have one
say.
guy screaming, "Hey, change this!" We change
Yeah.
it, and
I
then
won't
now,
come back if you don't. Blah blah blah. I'll never come back and race here again. Well, whether he means it or not, you still have to deal with it.
Yeah.
No, and that's where
Yeah.
that's where I would say, well, Caraway's just down the road. I mean,
True, and if you call their hand, they'd probably come back anyway.
That's
but
what I'm saying.
You can't have that mentality with them, though.
right?
well, the business part
You
of it
can't
does
say
not
that. You can
coincide
think it,
with
but you
that.
can't say
Yeah,
it.
the business part doesn't coincide with because I used to love handling complaints as a supervisor with highway patrol. Loved it. Now, sometimes my people were just wrong.
But here's the difference. You weren't counting on those people to be there every week for your show. You could care less if that speeder got upset with you, or if that guy that complained that somebody
Fair
trooper
point.
did something.
That is a very fair point.
Fair point.
You didn't depend on that person.
Fair point.
Gray and Austin and NASCAR have the power, but they still depend on the people.
Right. Yeah,
Without
that's
the
fair.
people, there's no product.
And I think,
So there has to be that balance, which was what you were talking about earlier, is
Right.
finding that balance.
honestly, Gray, the way he handles you guys, that's another.
He's
thing.
great.
I mean, he
He's
he
great.
knows how to
Me
talk
and Gray
to
don't
you.
always get along, but he's really good at his
At the end
job.
of the day, he knows how to, because he's done it all his life,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's experienced. Every time I bring up something like, "Hey, what if we tried this or tried this?" Oh, we tried this back in 19.
Yeah,
something. I'm like,
right.
what have you guys not tried? Like, what? Like, can you tell me something that you haven't done yet? And it's like, no, not really. And
No,
I'm like,
no.
yeah. I mean, there's so much that this place has done, attempted, and continues. It continues to do new great things,
Yeah.
right? And it'll always be like that.
Yeah.
Nobody, like we were talking about, nobody's bigger in the stadium.
Right.
I'm not bigger in the stadium. There's nobody. You're
Nope.
not bigger in the stadium.
Nope.
There's nobody over there who's bigger than the stadium. The stadium is its own self, right? It is its own. it is
Gray
own-
have said, I've heard Gray make the comment. He'd say, there's always a method to the madness.
Yeah.
And what he means by that is we've probably tried it. We may have failed at it. We may have been good at it, but we've thought about it,
Right.
or we've been there.
Yeah.
And he's, see, I know that, like talking about the chain races and stuff. And as a modified racer, and I would say, man, you got chain races, you got this, you got that, you got this. And Gray told me one time, and not saying, because I love the Crown Vics. So the fact that the Crown Vics are there and they replaced the chain race, that's great. I'm not against that. But when he explained to me one time, he said, we got these compact cars and we bring them in and we do a skid race. And then the next week we bring them in, or the next time we bring them in and we do a chain race. And then at the end of the year, we bring them in and we do a demo and let them tear them all to hell.
Yeah.
That made sense to me. You could tell that was a thought out process. That you couldn't do the demo first,
Right.
because I never would have thought of that.
No, I
well,
didn't
all
either.
right, this would be a good night for the demo.
Right.
Well, then they tear them all to hell, and then they got nothing left to run their skid race with.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So the demo car is the one they ran in the skid race and the chain race. So there was always a method to
I
it.
didn't know that.
Process.
See? But
Yeah.
that's, I
But it
didn't
makes
either.
sense.
But that makes
total
sense, does it not?
Yeah.
That was one of the
Total
first things I learned from him. He said the same thing he said to you. One of the first things is, this is why we do it this
Yeah.
way. And that, it makes perfect sense.
It does.
I mean,
I
Most
still
of the time
think
it
I
does.
still think the potato sack over the head demolition derby would be great, but I don't think liability.
what did they do? They did a light, or was it lights out, or they blindfolded the guy?
They put potato sacks over their head.
Maybe I think that's what
They did something
Yeah.
where they couldn't see, and the other guy had, like, there was
had
somebody
to
else
tell him.
and had to tell him what
I
was
remember
going
him
on.
telling that. I don't remember that, but he remembered the story.
I think it's something close to that. I could be mistaken, but I mean, there's so many things that's been tried there, right?
I guarantee you, Jimmy would not have been in the infield during that
oh,
race.
no. I wouldn't.
He's got
no way.
brass ones, but he
Well, knowing Jimmy, he may have. Jimmy, speaking of Jimmy, got to give a shout out to
Yeah,
him.
oh,
We
man.
couldn't do this without Jimmy Brown and his crew. And
Absolutely.
again, goes back to Citrusafe and you guys coming aboard and doing what you did. I mean, getting them new brooms, getting them new shirts. I mean, they look so official. It looks so good. And that place without him, I don't know how. I don't know how it would
I've said
run.
this a million times. I don't know if you've ever heard me say it. I don't know how many times we'll be at other racetracks, at other races. Caution comes out, be a little cleanup they got to do, and we'll ride around for 10 laps.
Well,
Right.
and
And I come on the radio and say, where is Jimmy Brown when you need him?
And you-
I have said that.
you
don't
watch
know how
them.
many times.
Nobody's in a hurry.
Jimmy
don't know how to
Brown
hook up.
he is spot on.
They'll drag the car
on.
leaking oil all around the track.
But see, that's part of what makes Bowman Gray so special. Because there's every void has been filled.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every void has been filled. We'll go to, bless their hearts, we'll go to a smart race, and the racing will be great, and everything's going perfect, and they'll have somebody breaks the oil line and oils the track down, and we sit on the backstretch for 30 minutes while a makeshift cleanup crew's trying to clean up. And that ruins the whole show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything that was going perfect is now the fans are sitting in the stand getting their phone out and everything else. And that's one thing, and Grace told me this, the method to the madness. When we go to other tracks, and it's not their fault, because to compare other tracks to Bowman Gray is not fair.
No.
It's not fair. So when I say these things about Smart, or I'm getting ready to use Ace as an example. Ace is a great place. They do a great job. The Turners are great people. At Ace last weekend, the guy wins the race, and they spend 10 minutes in victory lane. And then next thing you know, the cars start coming out. They line them up on the backstretch, and there's 20 minutes in between each race. At Bowman Gray, when you're on the little victory truck, they're already lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Eric Besser's going click, click, click. Okay. Click, click, click. All right, let's go.
Yep.
And Randy Smith takes the flag out of your hand, and they're going, all right, let's go. All right, fans back in step. Okay. Bam. Within 4 minutes, we're already starting the next race.
Yep.
Because there's no downtime.
Yeah.
Fans are constantly entertained.
Yeah.
Constantly. So it's all a package. It's all a package. So
It is.
Well, we're going to continue to support you. I know I will until you and Bert have your first disagreement. I'll still
Well, we've
support
already
you.
had a few.
we've had a few, but listen,
nothing
it's
too
all
bad.
right. It's
not personal.
It's like a marriage.
Yeah.
If you never fight, there's something wrong with you.
Exactly.
If you and your wife never fight, then that's not a healthy marriage.
Nope, not at all.
And it's funny
Thank
because
God we're healthy.
I know, right? I see it in Slate sometimes, and it worries me a little bit because me and Kim, I'll just tell you, there's be times that something will happen, and she'll go, "Why did you do that?" And I say, "Why did you do that?" She'll, "Shut up. Will you shut up, dumbass, you dumbass." And 5 minutes later, "Hey, what we eating for supper?" That's just a normal for us sometimes. It's not all the time, but it's just when that happens, it's normal.
Yeah.
And so I'll see Slate kind of with that same attitude, and I'm like, "Oh gosh, Slate, that doesn't work with all women. It just so happens it works for me and Kim, but you have to be careful here because we don't mean anything by it.
right.
I love Kim more than anything in
That's
this
just
whole
y'all's
wide world.
That's
but
just y'all's normal.
it's just how we you know. Why are you, I don't want to watch Love is Blind. That's a stupid show. Well, I have to watch this right here all the time. Well, gosh, turn that crap off. Well, if you don't like it, just go to sleep. And then 5 minutes later, she's like, "All right, well, the episode's off. Good night. Love you. You want me to put it on the race?" I mean, that's just how we do. So
right.
with me and you, there'll be times.
Yeah.
There'll be times. But I don't think, I can't swear to it, but I'll do my best to never disrespect you.
And I will do this, and that's goes
And
for
I
anybody.
don't think I have yet.
No,
and
I
I don't. And I try to be a very empathetic person. I try to see both sides.
I do too.
But I will say, and I said before we started, if I know I'm right, and Kim will tell you this because I'm the same way with her. If I know I'm right, I'm going to keep pushing until you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And
Human nature,
we'll
man.
have times. Me and Gray have had times. You know, I've known Gray my whole life, basically.
Yeah.
Known Gray my whole life. And there's been times where when I left the stadium, I wanted to punch him in the face. I never did. I never told him I did. But there's times I felt that way.
Right.
But then we work it out. Because we, believe it or not, well, you do believe it, we have to work together.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's me, Tim Brown, Zach Orr, AJ Sanders is sitting in this seat looking across from you. We all have to work together.
Mm-hmm.
We all have to work together. And so that's when you figure out the best way to make that happen is when it's the most successful.
Yeah, I
So-
agree. And I think, from my side, treating you guys all the same,
That's all we ask.
That's all you want. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of why I was putting this role in the first place too, right? It's because I know how to be empathetic. I know how to take it and listen. I'm a good listener, right?
Yeah.
I'm good with personalities. I enjoy talking to people. People seem to enjoy to talk to me.
Right.
So, I mean, that's kind of the way it works. And again, we're gonna have times, but we'll get through them.
Yep.
And we'll be just fine.
Yep.
Everything's gonna be
I
great.
agree.
I think we're heading in the right direction.
I agree.
Well, hopefully this weekend puts on the best show that the stadium's seen.
It will. It always does.
Be really cool for you to bring 2 more trophies.
That'd be awesome. wouldn't it?
Whether it's you have 2, Slate has 2, Jody have 1.
Yeah, if we can't, Jason,
Well, Jason,
we got
yeah,
3 Myerses. We got a
Take
shot
it back
at
to Walnut
something,
Cove.
surely.
That's right. Well, again, Austin, we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I appreciate
I
you
know
guys.
you have
Thank
a
you.
busy schedule. You haven't been feeling well, and we finally got it worked out. And I think the fans and the viewers will really enjoy kind of getting to know you. And
Yeah, I hope so.
I'd like to say that we have enough viewing audience that maybe you need to keep a Sharpie in your pocket to sign some autographs this upcoming week. But no, as always, we want to thank Citrusafe for providing us this outstanding studio. It's grill season, time to get going. If you need any kind of cleaners, whether it's farm and agriculture machinery cleaners, whether it's degreasers, emulsifiers, check out BrysonShop.com. We've got a whole load of excellent cleaners on there. I think you did a post last week about some of the stuff you use. But RaceFanGear.com, always been a supporter. They've got a lot of merch on there. I know that you get a lot of requests for hero cards from out of state.
Mm-hmm.
RaceFanGear.com handles all that. T-shirts, you can't be at the track. RaceFanGear.com.
We're working with Mark Joyce as we speak for a new design for me.
Awesome.
Next week or 2, we'll have a new shirt out. So.
Awesome. I don't have any merch, so all the merch will be on RaceFanGear.com. But as always, we appreciate everybody watching. Please, give us a like, give us a follow. If you have any questions or you have a good guest idea, feel free to post it. We love hearing from you. So until we see you again, thank you so much.